Tiny's here. Welcome.
Oh, wow.
What's up? Magic.
Yeah, she popped in when the intro was going.
May sound actually her. It's probably AI Tiny.
Not yet. I'm programming that one.
Okay, you're still downloading.
And Tiny, if you want, feel free to share this to your audience as well on X.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Well, welcome. I'm Drew Outstanding on location today. I'm in the crazy country of LA. You might have heard of it. So I've been here for a film festival. So I'm helping out a few friends there. I've been working on this film for about 4 years now. So Follow the Silence. It won Best in Fest yesterday. So it was pretty cool. So
nice.
Had a pretty good time. Yeah. Really cool movie for people affected by some medical tyranny stuff in the last couple of years. Well, now going on 4-5 years now. But crazy stuff, but good time. Had a pretty good time. So I'm here on my way out of this California country shortly, or at least tomorrow morning. So that's me. You can find me on X, you can find me on YouTube, Operation Outstanding in Field, where I'm putting up some more adaptive sports type stuff, sit down skiing, which I'm training to compete. In about a month now, I'll be in Colorado, so doing some time trials for there and kind of seeing where that goes. So that's me. Alf, who are you? What do you do?
Yeah, man. I'm happy to be here. As many of you may know, I had an IRL drama situation come up in my life. It's still kind of ongoing, but I am back full up doing my streaming thing. And it was nice of Dan Vass to let me stream from his room.
I was about to say, you're visiting Brazil?
So, yeah, I'm in Brazil right now.
I totally thought that was familiar.
But
yeah, monkeys in the window?
No, not today. but yeah, I'm back doing my gaming streams. I've also been, for these streams, the Pop Culture Patriots, I've been cutting them up into clips and reposting them in my clips playlist on my channel. So just various topics to get it shorter, because I know a lot of people like that, bite-sized content. They don't like to watch a whole stream. So, and some of them have been doing pretty well. So, cool. Yeah. But yeah, I'm awesome. here to talk pop culture and video games.
There we go. Tiny, what's going on in your world?
Well, you can almost hear it in my voice, I would think. I'm a little under the weather. I wasn't even sure I was actually going to have a voice for this stream. So I'm really happy to be here.
Good.
Not much new going on with me, really, except that I actually started my first voiceover work last week.
Oh, hell yeah.
And I'm going to be the voiceover actress, and I've become so much stuff to do, an associate producer for the Mr. Burger show on Mr. Burger channel, which it's going to be a 20 to 30 minute episode anime. Very adult, very, very think Beavis and Butthead level, maybe even more adult than that.
Nice.
Hell yeah, that's cool. Yeah, keep leveling up and trying new things. It's been going awesome for me in the last couple of years, joining the different fellowship and communities and just seeing what's possible.
Well, I mean,
speaking of that, go ahead.
I was just going to say, you're sort of my inspiration in a way. I've been sick a lot longer than you, but I didn't really have anything to help me do anything except some activism, but not really, and being supportive, but not really do much. And then starting to stream last year, and then getting to go to Vegas and meeting everybody and seeing you, and then seeing how much you've been able to accomplish. It's like,
thank you.
I'm really sick still. I can't pretend that I'm not. But if he can do it, I can do it.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. We all are sick in our own way, and we've gone through crazy stuff, storms, and just get beaten down and dragged through different stuff, whatever the case was, physical, mental, social relationships, whatever the deal is, family, stuff. So, but you got to figure out your own path. That's what I kept waiting for answers and wasn't getting any from professionals that were supposed to have the answers and made all this money and all this school, and they have all this positions of power and no answers. So I decided to create my own path forward.
I think to some degree. Sorry, I keep interrupting you.
No, you're okay.
I'd kind of given up on having a normal life after 18 years. I've tried this and that little things. I tried things in New York, just didn't work out. So I was like, whatever. I'm going to just be what I am until finally they find a cure and I stopped volunteering for different research studies. And then I started streaming, and that changed things so much because I was very, very alone. I like me and my mom, and that's it. And then going to Vegas and being like, dude, I can have a life. There are these people and they actually like me and I can interact with them and I can have a life. And now because of that, I'm going to have an actual job.
Oh yeah. That's awesome. Speaking to somebody else that's actually real in real life, I've met a few times. Hayden, Wayne.
Yes. Hello. Hello.
How do you know us?
Yes.
What do you do? What's going on in your world?
So I guess I met Drew and Alf back in, what was that, 2023, I think, at Vegas. That was the first meetup that I had gone to. Was it not?
I met you at the
we
second
met
Dallas
in Dallas.
meetup.
Yep,
yes.
We met in Dallas. That's right.
I've been to 2 Dallas meetups that you were at.
After I went to that Dallas meetup last year, the GCA reached out to me after they had all met in Orlando at MegaCon in 2024, and they were like, "Hey, we'd love to have you on the show. People kind of know who you are." I was like, "Okay, yeah, I'll come hang out with you guys for a little bit." And then they pushed me into making my first couple of videos, and after going on several streams with them, they invited me to become a part of the GCA. And now I make videos every once in a while. I'm fixing to get into streaming myself, having my own show, doing the Ryan Kennel video mode, as it were. And, bring up a couple of things, talk about them, and clip it out for some videos. But yeah, I'm a gamer, pop culture guy that came over here from politics after I saw that we were losing the culture war, and being on the political side and making political arguments and stuff wasn't getting us anywhere. But then I saw the nerds, the corner where I grew up, like I had always been into games and movies and stuff like that. And once I turned my head that direction and I saw Nerdrotic and, all of these guys and all of you guys starting to get wins in areas and actually make the culture change, I figured out this is where I needed to be fighting. This is the front line of that culture war. And we're seeing some big gains now. So I'm happy to be.
Oh, yeah. That's awesome. Yeah, we didn't meet in 2023, or I was at MegCon in 2023.
Okay.
That was my first one. So I've been to MegCon twice, Vegas, and then the couple in Texas. So Dallas and San Antonio.
I know
Dallas.
The first time I met you was in Vegas, the one year that I went to Vegas.
Yep.
I am very bad at remembering things, so
okay. There's a lot of people.
Dates in. I'm like, I don't know. It was at some point. It was either last week or 4 years ago. I'm not. Really
Yep.
It's part of getting old.
I can't vouch for Alf, but there's at least 2 people on here who have diagnosed brain damage. Don't worry about
it. Yeah, I can't remember shit.
Blame it on the memory. No, that's awesome, man. Yeah. Great to meet you. Great to hang out. We get on some streams together. Absolutely. Yeah, you're crushing it, man. And it's cool. Yeah, like I was saying, you make your own path, whatever it may be. And there's so many different variations. There's these different genres that we're into. Because I don't know about all these different ones, like Doctor Who we're talking about before, and maybe tonight, and stuff like that. And now I'm starting to dive into like the Game of Thrones, or I watch the shows, and then now I'm like looking. I don't know if I could take on books right now. That'd be a little too much for the brain. But starting with like Audible, because that's what Gary said. He said he'll drive and listen to books. Just the whole thing. So giving that a shot.
That's a great way to get into it. And some of the unabridged, like you can find the fully voiced versions of things where they have different voice actors reading different lines and stuff. And that's a great way to familiarize yourself with some of these stories that people know. Just do it when you're driving, when you're traveling, stuff like that. It's a great medium that I think there's still a lot of people that overlook. But you can get some of those classics through that. Like I personally collect books. So I've got a ton of books. I think my oldest book that I have is from it was printed in 1890. Okay. And it's nice. It's a book about how schools should operate. Mm-hmm. And what they should be teaching children. And it's like a manual for teachers. It's fascinating to see how far we've shifted from what we used to teach.
Yeah. Things
I
have
had a
changed.
teacher who had books basically from the 50s.
Mhm.
There were workbooks, and that every year she gathered them up and took them home so the administration couldn't get rid of them. And every year she brought them back for her third graders. And
Awesome.
it was phonics, it was comprehension, it was these workbooks were straightforward. I'm slightly dyslexic, I'm slightly ADD, and a lot of stupid shit was going on, so I couldn't read. I come from a family of voracious readers. Everyone on my mom's side of the family is an autodidact, and I was getting to third grade and I still couldn't really read. Miss Billingsley sat my ass down and made sure that by the end of third grade, I could read at the very least at a third grade level.
That's awesome.
A lot of people don't like it. They're like, "Oh, she's so harsh." I'm like, she's teaching. She wants the shit to be like. We had to memorize stuff. People don't want to memorize anymore.
Yeah, sometimes you have to hammer stuff into kids' brains to get them to understand. To get
Memorization
them
is actually good for your brain, neurologically speaking.
Absolutely.
Sorry.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I had to like recreate stuff. They say neural pathways and things like that as I'm like healing back up and just making new connections and looking at photographs and be like, okay, this is where I've been, or like when I plan out a trip like this, I got to look at all the different obstacles that I could come in contact with, and that's what I did. I trained operational management, operational security, mission planning, all that kind of stuff for 15 years in the Army. And it's like, okay, I'm just going to go back to that kind of mindset, but in real life and what's going on. And that's been helping.
I wanted to get on what Hayden was saying about books and collecting physical media, but he was particularly talking about books. Is we have an age, and I know that we've had a political shift, and I don't want to get into politics. However, there was a time period when they were banning books left and right. You had Huck Finn; they don't want that in schools.
Yep.
And here's my thing. I've said this about learning history. Is like if you don't learn from it, then you're doomed to repeat it. Even in literature, because some books are books of their time, meaning that it would be offensive to people today, but I think it's still good to read as far as observing the way people thought back then, the way people understood things and how they saw things. I still think it's good to do. So.
Yeah, I mean, we're still in an age where they try to censor a lot of books and stuff like that. And that's why one of the books that I'm particularly proud of that I have is it's an Easton Press printed in 1976 copy of Brave New World.
Oh,
because they've gone back and they've edited some of the stuff out of Brave New World.
Seriously?
Now this one, yeah.
Oh,
They've actually edited some stuff out in some of the newer versions. And this one is actually illustrated by, I believe it's she was like a Duchess or something like that of Holland at the time. So, this is one of the books I have in my collection that I'm particularly proud of, but it's preserving that past and what those lessons were that were taught, because some of that stuff gets taken out whenever these people go in and they try to censor things and say, no, we can't talk like this in this media anymore. And that's one of the reasons that physical media is so important, because nobody can take that from you physically, where they can edit it digitally, edit the newer versions of it. But whenever you hold on to something from the past, you're holding on to history and allowing that thing to continue to live.
Yeah, and that's the thing. The first Comic-Con that I met and then heard about Drinker, I was watching his stuff, and then he's like, "Yep, I'll be in Atlanta Comic-Con." He's like, "Come join me or whatever." And I'm like, "Oh, I think I can make this work." And then he had nobody in line. It was a smaller Comic-Con, not too long after pandemic, still policy kind of stuff. And I just talked with him for a while. And he's like, "Dude, physical media, like that's where it's at. That's like a gold mine right there, whatever you're into." And so, I just started collecting DVDs, VHS, wherever I can find VHS, usually garage sales and consignment and stuff like that. And I start with things that I was into before and seeing if I can find that stuff again. And then I started expanding out. Be like, oh, I didn't even know, this version of it. Yep. That's awesome.
Hold on.
Physical, baby.
Yeah, I remember that one, and then the Super Nintendo Batman Returns.
Your
Batman on the
there we go.
Okay.
There we go.
The NES Batman. That's, I mean,
Nice.
I've got a small collection of NES games, PS2 games. I've just started accumulating as much physical media as I can.
I'm a huge classic video game console collector. I've been collecting since I got my first NES, and I've never sold any of my stuff. Oh, look who's here!
What's up?
What's up? Welcome to the show.
Awesome.
I can hear you already. It's already working. Weird.
Sweet.
What's up, dude?
Yep. There you go.
Been a while.
Hey, what's
Still have
happening?
I just shaved
Good
just
to see
now, and you didn't, obviously, because you don't.
Yeah, I took your hair and threw it on my face.
That's a lot more than I can grow.
Yeah, there's a little extra. I hope it didn't come from other places to your body.
So what's this? Actually, can you hear me?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yep, we can. We got you.
Okay, I got this microphone.
Yep.
It's like-
Toby, tell us who you are and what's going on in your world.
So we met at. Can you hear me? Or is it echoing?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it's not
Yep,
echoing.
yep.
We hear you fine.
All right, cool. It's this micro. I shouldn't use this. I might switch to the laptop one. But I'm Toby. And we met at Luke's house and started hanging out and talked about how the world had exploded and everything seemed like it was in a better place. And now it's like, I think it's in a good place. Dude, I can't. This is sounding terrible. You sound good, though? I can't hear you. Sorry, dude. I always have to. It's been so long I haven't used it.
While he sets up his tech, we actually have some stuff in the chat that we should be taking.
Yeah. Let me greet the chat while you're getting things set up.
Okay.
So let's go back to the beginning.
There we go.
Devil Maybe Do It was here first with his Beelzehub channel. What's up, Devil? Legatus Legionist, my
First.
mod extraordinaire. Lex Ludendi came in right after him. Then we had the Soska sisters saying "Hail to the Legends."
Hey.
Woo woo. Then we had Nagernal showed up. What's up, Nagernal? Which I just made him a mod as well. Lovely Sherry's in the chat. Lovely
Horny
as always.
Alf.
Yes.
What have I gotten into?
Professor Savage Dad, we got to mix up.
Yeah,
He's in the
you'll
chat.
be all right.
He's in the chat. We thought he was going to be here this week. It's actually next week. He's showing up. So, who else we got? H Dizzle is here.
Yep.
What's up,
Bring
H
him-
Dizzle?
bring-
He's
Blame
a
it
regular on my
brain
channel.
damage.
H Dizzle is a regular on my channel. What's we got? Disability Advocate Canada? Yeah.
Canada.
Is he? I'm guessing he's one of your followers. He was messaging on X.
Nice. Who?
Nice to be here.
Yeah, from X.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Isaac 556/45 says hail. What?
Nothing.
Hail.
No worries. Keep going.
All right. Who else we have? We had Kinfolk showed up. He's also a new regular on my channel. And then Isaac 556/45 just donated a 99-cent super sticker. Thank you for that, my man. Any money you guys donate to my channel helps out to pay for StreamYards and other things. So, then we had Nagernal with $5. Legends, the lot of you. Thank you, Nagernal.
I was like, what's that? Okay, I can kind of hear now. It's cutting out for me, but
That's
we'll
okay.
And
Weasel.
yeah.
Weasel's
We'll
here.
make it
Says
do.
hail.
Make it work.
Kinfolk just donated $2. Let the dono train keep going. I think I've hit most of these people. Yep, that's everyone.
Yep.
Cool.
So a pop culture show.
That's awesome.
And
Good
you're
to start off
a
with.
picture.
Yeah,
That's
Toby,
a lot smarter.
We're just talking before you came in.
He's a picture.
I have to do this avatar thing because I have a government job and I have to be anonymous. So
you
this
have
is
to
what I
be
do.
shirtless freaking Alf.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, Alf got really ripped after the show concluded, so he's
He gave
super
up
sexy
that.
now.
That makes sense. Yeah, everybody's anonymous now because like everybody's so. I mean, maybe not. I don't know if it's more now than it was, but I get it. Because like people murdering each other.
Yeah.
Everyone I know is getting swatted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the swatting. So I this is just a tiny bit of a divergence, but did you guys hear about that Japanese streamer that was murder rated the other day in Japan?
Wow.
So yeah, somebody actually tracked her down, but somebody looked into it and found out what the actual story was. This guy had been donating her a lot of money, and then he starts taking out loans so that he can continue to give her more money. Well, their DMs got leaked in his court trial, and she was telling him how much she loved him and like fostering this parasocial relationship. The dude went completely under, had nothing left, and she had promised to pay him the money back. She did not, and then she blocked him, and then yeah, a man with nothing left to lose went and lost.
So he murdered a girl.
Yeah,
That's
terrible.
Yeah, no, it's a crazy story, and there's so much more to it than people.
I just watched something
You're not doing this at
yesterday.
home.
I don't really watch stuff like that, but I clicked on something that was similar to that, but it wasn't Japanese, dude. It was like Ray William Johnson was talking about something similar. And, he does like pictures, puts pictures up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? And he just tells stories. And maybe it was the same thing. I mean, that just happened.
Well, no, there's been a couple cases.
Okay, it happens a lot. Of course.
Yeah. Unfortunately, yeah.
But there have been a couple different cases here in the States that didn't come to that point, but we're getting close. And then there was that crazy thing where Amaranth starts showing people that she's got like 47 Bitcoin online, and then is surprised when her husband came to her house.
Yeah. What an idiot.
16 to 19-year-olds that broke into her house, I believe, was what it was. Like,
wow.
And one of them got shot.
Did they really?
Oh yeah.
We live in a strange time.
Her husband shot him or something.
Yep.
Yep.
Good.
Yeah,
I don't know.
One of the conversations I had this weekend was people are talking, and it's like we live in this crazy time where at some point, 2020, whatever, everything just shifted, and we're in a new timeline or new, where it's just you can't even predict the next news story is going to be. Imagine being one of these judges that has to like decide on this case, or a jury person, and they have no idea how the internet works. Like I barely know how the internet works. And you're trying to figure out this stuff when it comes to Bitcoin and swatting and doxing and stuff like that. All this stuff that's like a brand.
Yes, Isaac, it is. Swatting is attempted murder. And it should be charged
kind of. Yeah, I mean, I was watching, we all get our opinions from other people. And I was watching this guy giving me my opinions. And he was like, yeah, I don't think you should shoot somebody. And they come in. I was like, no more opinions.
Yeah,
because like if somebody breaks into your house, you have to shoot them. That's why do they make video games?
Also, like, let's be honest, we know what Amaranth is generally selling. So if some guys break into her house, we know this one was about the stupid Bitcoin thing, but I would assume that they were after something else as well, because it's Amaranth.
Well, anytime anyone breaks into your home, you have to assume the worst.
Yeah,
which means you have to protect against the worst.
Yep.
That's
people
how
are
I
like,
feel about it.
Are your valuables worth more than someone else's life? And you're like,
that person decided they were when they came in my house.
Yeah, exactly.
But if they're coming into your house forcibly, you don't know if they're there for your valuables or they're to kill you. You have to assume the worst.
Well, but that's why in Canada they told people to leave their key fobs by the front door, so that when they break in, they'll just take the keys and steal your car, and they won't bother you. That's what the police had told people in Canada to do when the crime sprees started going up.
That's cool. They said key fobs. I haven't heard that.
Say fobs, actually.
Yeah. I made a song about fobs. The first thing I ever did was a rap song about key fobs back in the day. Seriously. Cool. It's called a fob. It's pretty sweet.
You make some of the best songs out of.
Dude, now it's.
I like the Nothing Else Matters, the Black Lives Matter one.
Yeah, man. I like that Ian guy. He's fun. He's like so nice and good energy.
Yeah, Ian Crossan. He's a good guy.
Yeah, he doesn't ever talk smack about anybody. He's the nicest guy.
Hey, Toby. So I've got a quick question for you.
Yeah, he's one of the good ones.
With Assassin's Creed Shadows coming out, have you considered doing another Assassin's Creed song with the Shadows trailers?
Yeah, actually, I started messing around with my stuff, but I still haven't gotten it fixed. I'm not sure. I think it's just I'm over my head. I got this freaking sound card that I don't really know too much about, but maybe the thing I was coming into, the problem was, it's like I loved Assassin's Creed, the trailers a lot, And now it's just kind of just feels a little dramatic. And, you could easily make fun of the whole thing, and maybe that would be fun. I just, I've never done that. I've never, because I've always, even if I've made fun of one of the things, one thing I literaled, and I felt bad about it forever.
Cutting out?
So I was like, yeah.
No, I
didn't have cut out at all.
But I have to watch it. I mean, I love Ubisoft, but it's like, what's going on with them? You guys following this stuff?
Yeah, so they've been falling off for the past couple of years, and it's because they
don't know what that's like.
They have these agendas that they're trying to push into games, and it doesn't work with the people who were their fan base. So that's why right now they're looking at selling off, because they can't maintain with what they've been doing. So
they're looking. The thing I saw, I think, was they had this company that not all of them, but a lot of game companies started working with, and they would just guide them on how to, instead of do what they were doing, to work in some, cause into the game. And then they're like, well, I mean, it's about running around and murdering people and insulting all of them. Like, but don't say anything offensive to certain groups of people. We're like, so these criminals are going to be like super nice. Okay. Hopefully Grand Theft Auto doesn't do that.
It's not sounding great. It sounds like they've been told to pull back on some of the edginess. And from what I've heard, they've actually removed some of the jokes from GTA 5 that were kind of on the edgier side.
Have you? Is it true? Or is that that was a rumor that they
I haven't confirmed it. I've just seen the rumors. So I don't know.
I think I could be wrong, but if this is a month or two ago, I read something that was actually wasn't true. It might be. It probably is. But
I hope it's not true.
Doom's coming out soon.
Oh yeah, so I do mostly video game content on my channel, and I just finished Doom 2016, and I'm playing my way through all the Doom games on stream, building up to that when it drops. So
hell yeah, that's a good idea. Who's making it? Is it Bethesda? No,
it's id Software. Right?
Okay, right. Yeah. Why did I think Bethesda? It's just been a while.
I think Bethesda is the parent company, but id is the actual company making it.
Man, yeah, who knows? Like, hopefully they have good people, but it's like, I had some friends that worked at Blizzard for a while, and Blizzard was wonderful. They're the greatest company ever. And then something happened, and everybody just kind of got into a shell, and they were kind of afraid. Not everybody, a couple people. It's a lot of people in the company. I'm sure it's wonderful over there, but I feel like we need a bunch of assholes to get together, nerds who are just they're so confident in being nerdy, but it's like, how do you do that? I don't know if it exists. But the guys at Blizzard, they got together, they were their buddies, they would the creative director and several of the biggest people, none of them are there anymore, but they worked together, and all of them did voices, and it was the coolest thing.
See, that's part of the problem, though. The people who actually love telling these stories and making these experiences for people to have, they're not in the industry anymore. No. A lot of them have left. They may have gone off to try to do their own things, or they retired. And then the people who came in and took over were these groups of people who didn't care about the games. They didn't care about the stories.
I wouldn't say they all left.
Horny
Some of them went to go join smaller independent game studios. Where they could actually, do their thing and not be interfered with by political agenda.
Yeah. I mean, there's plenty of political agenda going on. It's just
everywhere. You can't escape it. The minute you try to escape it is the minute that they push it and they take over.
It took so long to get anyone that would even think thoughts that were outside of the stuff out loud, because you would just you're like, I'm going to get murdered.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And now they are. Everyone's getting murdered. No, but some of the stuff, it's just like wizards that would surgically alter themselves. They're no, they would just cast a spell on themselves, right, and they would become whatever they want. It's a fantasy.
I want to, Drew, you good? He's on
I should be good. Am I coming out clear now?
It seems like you might be a little bit delayed.
How am I coming in clear?
Yeah, I hear you. A little muffled, but
Okay.
we
You
hear
guys
you.
are jerking all over the place, especially you,
All
Horny
right.
Alf. Drew, say
Um,
something. Is he frozen?
Yeah, I think he's
Yeah, I
frozen.
think he's
All right.
frozen.
Hopefully,
Drew.
I think he's frozen. There he is. He's moving now.
You might have to go
Yeah, I'm
out
gonna
and
leave
come
and come
back
back
in.
I'm gonna see.
Yeah, drop out, come back in.
I'll be right back.
All right. While he's doing
It's
that,
amazing. My internet is terrible. It's way worse than his. It has to be. I don't know why it's working right now.
Mine is bad too, and especially right now because we're going through
How? I thought
bad
everybody
storms.
had the best internet in the world right now.
No, they only put that in the low income areas, Toby. They're the ones who get the fiber, not the rest of us.
No,
Where I'm at, I have to use.
No. We were supposed to
Yes,
have
we don't
fiber,
have
but
that,
someone
do
didn't
we?
do their job.
Where I'm at, I have to
$9
use.
for like 18
I have to use Starlink because there's no access to any wired cable internet.
how is
here.
that?
I use
So-
That's
Starlink
kinda cool.
before.
It's okay. It has its moments where it'll drop like once every couple hours, but it's instantaneous. So if you're streaming something on Netflix, you don't even notice it. But if you're playing gaming online, online gets affected more.
That's the same thing. I can't. I can't do it. I mean, we put in not here, but we put in like a fiber optics cable and like ran it up the friggin' hill, and it was pretty good for a while, and then it stopped working. I was like, what the hell's going on?
Wow.
Yeah. So Starlink. Have you seen this guy who would go around on a boat? He sailed across the Pacific by himself on a little sailboat.
Mm-hmm.
So cool.
Was he using a Starlink?
Yeah, he's using Starlink to document the whole thing.
Yeah,
Oh, that's awesome.
and he would like glance over and be like, "Oh, mahi tonight, I guess," and he just hops over and like spears him in the face. It's awesome. I would love to do
All
it,
right.
but I would die.
While we're waiting on him to come back, I want to bring up a few topics here we can talk about, pop culture related.
Sweet
So-
pop culture.
Daredevil Born Again. Has anyone here been watching this since it debuted?
I haven't, but I loved Daredevil so much, especially that guy.
Yeah.
And
Then you really
Punisher.
don't want to watch this. Then you don't want to watch this if you really.
Yeah,
really
this
love the
ruins
original.
it. So the first 3 seasons that were from Netflix, they were pretty good. Third season kind of fell off a little bit, but
What was the
it was
best
still great. Better
it
than
was the greatest
anything.
thing I've ever seen. It was like, what was it, second season? I think end of second season, maybe the Punisher part was the best arc ever, especially for a secondary freaking character.
So I wanted to read this real quick. According to Mouse House, the Marvel television series drew 7.5 million views in its first 5 days of availability on Disney Plus, with a view defined as a total stream time divided by runtime. That makes it the biggest streaming debut of the platform of the year, and it's only March. So
The way they try to phrase it to make
Yeah.
it sound
Oh, yeah.
so great. It's always so funny to me.
Yeah, I've seen that. I saw that in January, end of January.
Yeah,
It was like-
it's the movie of
You're
the
going-
year. It's January 24th.
The best
What do you
movie
mean?
of the year,
Yeah.
which, by the way, is a couple weeks.
Yep,
it's
exactly.
January. Well, I wanted to
Yeah,
kite,
it's
which
breaking
is
up like crazy.
arguably the worst Star Wars show. Oh, you guys can't hear me?
I can hear you.
Basically, The Acolyte, the worst show on Disney Plus, the Star Wars show. It reached
I love it.
11.1 million views in
Yeah.
in same time period, 5 days. So
Yeah.
The Acolyte,
Solid.
the worst Star Wars show, is beating out Daredevil Born Again.
Yeah.
Yes.
So Disney's in trouble.
Yep.
Born again, so
All right,
he's a
I see.
Christian now.
I honestly didn't think there was a single
Drew
company.
tried to jump
that
back
can
in,
make
but I
no-
can't add him for some reason. It's weird.
I'm sorry for adding to the chaos.
No, but I didn't believe a company could actually be so detrimental to their own bottom line unless they were doing it on purpose.
No,
Every single decision they make loses them money.
I am personally of the opinion that a lot of the people that are mid-level at Disney, what they're actually trying to do is they don't care about the money. They're the ones who are in charge of actually writing these shows, producing the shows, getting the shows out. They're fine with this multi-billion-dollar company that they work for losing some money if they're able to get a short-term cultural gain and start to see things be normalized in the culture that they want to make happen. And they're losing out on that, and now the higher ups are going,
I think
where the hell is our
H.
money
Dizzle's right
going?
here. Peak apathy might have been reached.
Mhm.
What are they making? What are they making now? That's coming up. They're making that looked pretty good. Lilo and Stitch.
Yeah, Lilo.
I thought the Lilo and Stitch
Something
preview
else.
actually looked really, really good.
I didn't even think it looked good, but I think it looked inoffensive, which is something
that.
that the bar is so low that as long as it's inoffensive, I might even go out and watch it.
That is so weird. That is funny to hear.
But
Because
yeah,
Disney's,
the fact that
not offensive.
yeah,
That
but
is
the
kinda
fact that
strange.
the shittiest Star Wars movie is beating out Daredevil. I think Marvel at Disney was banking on Daredevil revitalizing their Marvel TV shows because their Marvel TV shows haven't done that great.
How much did you watch of this one?
Awful.
Of
Daredevil.
what Daredevil? I'm 2 episodes in. I think a third episode came out today. I haven't watched it yet.
Okay, gotcha.
But
I haven't even started it, and I watched all of The Acolyte, and I think that, like me, the reason I watched all of The Acolyte was so that I could laugh at it. I think a lot of people that watched it to laugh at it, but the apathy.
I hate
Oh, I
that.
was the
Can't
same
do
way.
that.
Or
Yeah, just to
they
clown
on
really
it.
do
Bad.
work. Like they review things and they're online. They're like, I mean, the amount
Yeah,
of people who watched
totally.
it
Everybody's
didn't want
doing
to be
that
watching
now.
it, but felt like they had to for their
Everybody's
fans.
reviewing stuff, and it's great. I mean, I don't know what it's like. I never watched it, but they're doing well. I didn't know you could do that. Have you seen a Person of Interest? Speaking of which, I was thinking about I was like, dude, this show is so
Drew's back.
good.
Yay!
Hey, what's up?
I'm back. Yeah, I can hear you
Nice.
now.
Yeah,
Not
good
robots
connection.
anymore.
Sweet.
Yeah,
Have you seen Person of Interest?
Person of Interest is a great show.
Not in a while.
It's pretty good.
Years ago, right? Yeah.
Yeah, 2011.
Yep.
Yeah, it's an awesome show.
It's awesome, and they're like freaking a ton of episodes, and every one is an hour long. I had no idea about the show existing, and then I'm watching it. It's talking about like Bitcoin, basically. It talks about the Silk Road guy, Ross.
Mm-hmm.
And it's
Ross Ulbricht.
It's very ahead of its time. 2 years after Bitcoin came out, they put a thing in that was, this is probably a coincidence, but it was literally the Bitcoin stock on the screen at the top of the portfolio. It was like, what was it? ARKB. It was an ARK Bitcoin stock. But that's ARK. And so I think, I don't know, if that's going to be the same as Bitcoin. Did everybody just leave?
No.
I was talking too long. Oh, okay.
They're letting you cook.
Okay, kept going on.
Yeah, I know you were doing some topics. I just wanted to get a discussion going.
Yeah, bring it.
So,
Say some stuff.
Tuesday main event. There were Geeks and Gamers. They're talking about
You may bring in the next one.
the best video games.
Main event for this? It's like
No,
Coliseum, dude.
No,
so
another
on the
channel,
Geeks
they
and
were talking
Gamers
about
channel, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. The
What's
Geeks and
the-
Gamers
Yeah,
have
the
a
Mount
show
Rushmore
every
of
Tuesday
video
night main
games.
event.
Like, who would you put? Like, Mount Rushmore is like, yeah. So it's like, who
Sorry,
would you put in
explain?
video games
Sorry,
on your Mount
Okay,
Rushmore?
so
like,
Mount Rushmore.
Who would you put on the Mount Rushmore?
you
For
know,
like geeks from geeks.
video game
like,
characters.
Who do your geek?
The worst. I'm the worst guess. But I like those guys. I just haven't watched the show. Anyways.
Yeah. So okay, my Mount Rushmore. I would have to
like,
say,
Alf, who's your video game guys?
Me?
Shit, I haven't even thought about that, but
Duke Nukem.
Halo was a big part of my video gaming timeline. So Master Chief. Can you guys hear me? Am I breaking up?
yeah,
No,
you're
you're
good.
fine.
Duke Nukem, bro. Do you know
Okay.
Duke Nukem?
Yeah.
God, I feel like a child hearing
Oh
that.
yeah.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. It's the best. There's nothing like him. I mean, there's Serious Sam, but it was, not quite.
I would put the Doom guy on there somewhere.
Yeah, Doom guy.
Nice.
Not a talker.
Yeah.
Kind
So
of
I would put
quiet
Master
guy.
Chief, Doom guy.
That was the best part
Oh,
of
he
Doom.
just
That was
kills
my favorite
stuff.
part.
That's all he
You
does.
spam stuff. It's like, you bottom feeding, scum sucking algae eater. And just push like F1 through F8. It's so fun. It was the same thing every time. It was so fun. Just saying
Yeah.
that to my buddies.
But yeah,
Damn,
Mario's
you're
got to be up
really-
there. Mario is an icon, so he's definitely got to be on there.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's tough.
I know
Snake,
my number one is Big Boss.
Who's that? Big Balls?
Yeah, Big Boss for
Who's that?
So that is
from Metal Gear Solid.
yeah, it's Metal
Oh
Gear
my God.
Solid. It's the the higher up Snake.
Yes. I haven't
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
played that game. which is terrible because it's one of the greatest games ever.
Oh, I absolutely love it. I love the Metal Gear Solid series. I've got a signed PAL card set back here, signed by David Hayter, voice actor for Snake.
Yeah, I watched it for a little bit. I have to install it and start. I need to play games again. It's been way too long. Thank you for reminding me about video games.
Play the Metal Gear series. Start with Metal Gear. You can start with Solid. You can skip Metal Gear 1 and 2, but start with Solid and be sure and play Metal Gear Solid 4, Guns of the Patriots. That's what I've got going on this screen right here. This is the one that brings the whole story to a close. And then if you enjoyed it, you can play Metal Gear Solid 5, which kind of opens up the world, has a different kind of gameplay aspect to it, but it's a fantastic game.
Is it
phenomenal story?
Does it look like Fallout, the old ones?
No. So it takes place in the early.
I mean the
2000s.
top-down view wise or something like that.
Yeah. So Metal Gear Solid on the PlayStation it does the top-down isometric gameplay.
Yeah, like
Metal Gear Solid 2 is not. It's a fixed camera.
I like that top-down shit.
Yep. You'll enjoy the game.
It's different. I played the old Fallout. It was so awesome. I mean, now I probably wouldn't like it as much, but have you played Baldur's Gate, the new one?
Oh yeah.
I still have to try it.
Yeah, Baldur's Gate 3. It's a really fun game. I enjoyed it.
Drew, where are you? Drew.
I think
we might have lost him again.
Some delay issues.
I'm stuck on the internet, man. I don't know what's going on.
Sorry.
Oh, and we lost Alf.
Yeah.
Well, solid.
That's how it goes. This is streaming, ladies and gentlemen.
I didn't even know. Live. Thank you for texting me. I forgot. I'm glad you texted me. You texted me just in time. I didn't bathe, obviously, but I'll do that tomorrow. Poor guy.
No, I think So I think that my Mount Rushmore, I've got to put Big Boss on there. I'm gonna put Kratos from the God of War series on because that Kratos is just absolute badass. And then I think
he's got the ashes of his daughter glued to his body.
Yeah, exactly.
That was crazy. Finding that out.
I also I'm a big RPG guy.
Prove it. What do you like?
I mean, it depends.
What's the best one? What's your favorite one?
My favorite RPG, I like the Elder Scrolls series. I like Elder Scrolls 3, Morrowind. Dude, whenever I got that one, dude, I was sunk into that for days and days.
It's an endless. You can do anything. It's pretty cool. But I got the infinite walk speed cheat, and then after that I didn't like the game anymore. You know, you ruin it.
As soon as you start modding it, it kind of you're like, okay, now
I was like, I turned it up too much, but I can't turn it down, and I just stopped playing.
Yeah. There was but I can remember, being a kid.
There was no horses in that one, right?
No, there were no horses in that one.
And Oblivion had the horses.
Yeah, Oblivion was the first one that was where Bethesda brought out the horse armor that they charged everybody like $25 for, and the horse armor did nothing. And everybody got really mad about microtransactions at that time. But I gladly bought the horse armor because I made my horse look pretty. So,
yeah, those transactions. I mean, it turned into every game is just free, but not. And then you have to spend thousands of dollars.
Yeah,
like my one of my exes, she spent like $15,000 on Farmville.
Oh my god. But I remember when Facebook was all farmland. I remember those days.
And then what's the Clash? There's that Clash on the turn-based
Clans.
Yeah, the other
Clash
one.
of Clans. Yep.
Clash Royale. Yeah, Clash of Clans, but I haven't played that one. Clash Royale is kind of the real-time one. It's pretty fun. Whatever.
I don't know.
I haven't been playing video games. I've been trying to learn this friggin' program and failing. Logic.
Right. Can you guys hear me? I had to reboot my router.
Sound
good.
You
are back with us.
All right, cool. I wanted to continue with the topics we got here so far. So we were talking Disney earlier. Let's bring this up. Inside Disney's Snow White troubles, they need to get this over with.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he says it in the subline there. It says Disney's live action Snow White
internet.
Reboot.
This is awesome.
Yeah, what
the...
Tiny, what are you playing right now?
She like what is she hates everybody or something?
If you can hear me.
Yeah,
her-
She got in trouble for being like, I hate everyone.
Well, no, her
Yeah.
and what's the girl that played Wonder Woman? Gal Gadot.
Gal Gadot.
Gadot.
She's like, I'm
They're-
disgusted being in this
they-
movie. I hate this movie.
They basically hate each other.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
girls.
it shows on the red carpet or on the in the press scenes that like they're not showing up together. They're doing press junkets separate.
Disney has completely
It'll
And
be
even when they tried to use them for the Oscars, like Gal she just swept forward and just let freaking Zelger like clomp her way after her because she was like, I'm not gonna wait and hold your hand. You got that dress, you got that outfit, you walk as fast as I do. We'll see what happens.
Damn,
they
dude, I
didn't
missed
even
that.
look at each other.
Yep. No, they won't make eye contact.
Okay, this could be fun. Okay, this could be fun. As long pulling up clips and then bringing them on, be like, here's this thing that happened. Whoa, that's fun.
Yeah,
It's fun.
I think I think this movie's doomed. One, we talked about Disney's lost a lot of their I guess respect because they just
reputation.
Just mediocre movies they've been putting out in the last couple of years, and then you got this on top of them fighting with each other. It's I don't know. And then the other big problem, and this is a follow up to that, but this actress Allie Chapman, the little person, is complaining that they went with CGI dwarves instead of actual dwarves.
Yeah,
to deprive actual dwarves of their jobs.
I agree,
Yeah, Peter Dinklage pulled the stepladder up.
Yeah, Peter Dinklage screwed everyone else behind him.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah,
he made a good point. He made a good point.
But yeah,
dwarves shouldn't be allowed to act. They don't fit on the screen. What are you gonna do?
Well, no, you could argue you could put a lot more of them in there because you got more screen space.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you could, but then you gotta have a normal person.
But it's more
They're
jobs
gonna
for
kill
the people.
They're coming for me.
But this is a situation where they screwed up by listening to Peter because he made
think they really did?
millions of dollars at taking on the roles for dwarves because you can have dwarves in things. You can have short people.
So he said this like out loud. It was like I don't think you should cast
said
dwarves because it's offensive.
Well, no, what he said was even dumber because what he said, he's like, "Whoa, we have the progressiveness of having a Latina play Snow White, but we're still going to be this horrible caricature of dwarves that there's just these homely little old men living in a cave." I'm like, there are no dwarves living in a cave in the fucking movie. There never was going to be dwarves living in a cave in the fucking movie. He didn't even know the story, and he was bitching about it, and the fucking studio listened to his bitching instead of asking, well, that's not actually what this is about. Our dwarves don't live in a fucking cave, and they mine gems, and they have a house, and they have all this shit. Like, it's not what he thought it was, or was acting like it was.
Yes,
we're also talking about the idea.
The whole way.
Sounds like a fine idea. It's like a normal. The story's been here for a while.
Yeah, we're talking.
Everybody loves Lord of the Rings. It's like the greatest.
Exactly.
The greatest movie ever. It's the only movie everyone's seen 10 times.
Yeah, we're talking about fantasy dwarves.
Because it has dwarves in it.
Yeah, it's fantasy dwarves. It's not
They're
like
not really dwarves.
It's different, but still, you're depriving actors of their ability to get jobs. So,
you know what?
Actually, even his whole critique that
let's make another one. Let's make another. Sorry, go on.
I'm saying his whole critique that they're like being misrepresented by this thing is they were never going to. That thing didn't exist. The thing he felt they were being misrepresented by didn't exist.
I feel like, I mean, I got to look up what he said, but it's like, dude, I get it. He's like, Disney, don't you do it. Don't you do something else.
So I'm sharing my screen. If you want to see what the dwarves are relegated to, if you deprive them of their acting roles.
Okay.
Oh no.
So this is this is what you get whenever you don't allow them to act.
What's wrong with that?
I mean, he's making money, but
no, he's not. He's building a reputation of a bad image.
This is Micro Jackson.
Oh my god.
He is a referee for dwarf wrestling.
What's wrong with that?
He's the referee.
No, nothing's wrong with it. But whenever
He's having a good time.
when you take away their roles, this is what they all have to do. He was great, by the way. He just had several videos of his Michael Jackson medley performance
Anything
that was
you can
halftime.
dancing. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I went to what was it, micro wrestling the other night, and that was one of the highlights. Yeah, they all had shirts that said "Support micro violence."
Drew looks so serious, frozen.
He does.
Yeah, he's on this
He's
shitty hotel Wi-Fi, which means he's probably sharing the same router with like 10 other people.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably little people. Probably not actually. Wait, what state are you in?
He's in
He's
California.
in California at the
That's what
moment.
it is. California.
Oh, nice.
I
We
think
got a
he's back.
donation from
Wow.
Nagardnall.
Hell
$10 says, freaking awesome that you guys got Toby on. I used to watch this
Really?
stuff all the time. You had me dying on X the other day with the picture of someone else's picture. I'm not sure what he means by that.
It's like, post the picture you took. No description. So I just take a picture of the tweet.
Yeah, Toby, we had a lot of people on Twitter and on in the comments of the chat just like blown away that we got you on. So
Really? Well, yeah, I
Yep,
usually don't.
absolutely.
Yeah, it's been a while. I haven't really been doing anything because my internet was bad. We replaced it a couple, whatever. Anyways, yeah, I just got a computer and I haven't actually set it up yet. But maybe I'll start gaming again.
yeah,
Why
do it.
not?
Do it.
You seem to have fans.
Right. I still can do it. And I got a VR thing. But that's not for video games. But
I had the weirdest interaction whenever I walked into the bedroom. My girlfriend was playing Monster Hunter, and I'm like, "Hey, I guess I'm gonna be on with this guy tonight. It's Toby."
oh god.
And she goes, "Okay," and I was like, "Yeah, he's got a small YouTube channel," and she goes, "Okay," and then so once she finished killing the monster, I like showed her the YouTube channel, and she goes,
And it was
"Are you
brilliant.
fucking kidding me?"
Yeah.
So
Pretty good.
her and her friends and everybody grew up watching it, so
Everybody has 100 million times more. Dude, it's so easy now. And everybody's so good now, too. Maybe that's
Yeah.
not true, but
yeah, I don't know about that.
no, it's getting different. It's changing. I mean, yeah, like I got strikes and I got warnings. I got mega shadow banned, like 99% shadow banned after I posted some video that got taken down before it even went up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've
Crazy.
heard of
That's
them
never
doing
happened
stuff
before.
like
I was
that.
like, what? But it was, I get it. I mean, I was talking about, what did I say? I was like, oh, the government called me and told me there was going to be a vaccine. This is a year before. This is before anything happened at all.
Wow.
A girl that they hired me. This is a company, not a girl. It was a woman. It was a company that hired me to do some various events, like for the government. At the time, I was like, I'm like a secret agent. And then after a couple years after, I just got a phone call. It's like, something's happening and it's very strange, and I have to tell you. I'm like, okay, you sound crazy. She's like, leave LA now. Go to Florida.
Yeah, I remember.
Wasn't so
Yeah.
crazy.
I know.
Nope.
Yeah, well, and then they moved up into a place and started a farm in the middle of like I forget which state. One of those states I don't think about.
The flyover states.
Yeah.
No offense.
I remember. I think it was about a year after, the COVID came out that we went on a vacation to Florida. Other states are still locking down, wearing masks. Florida, everything was as normal as it could
Yeah.
be. Yeah, I loved it.
Yeah, it was good. I mean, there's still mosquitoes.
Oh yeah,
So it's
mosquitoes
like,
suck.
but yeah, I'd say the masks are worse than the mosquitoes. It's close.
Yeah.
It is close, but I've never had a cop stop me for not bringing mosquitoes into a Walmart. But if I didn't wear a mask, the cops were all over me for not bringing a mask into Walmart.
Wow,
so.
that's fun.
Oh,
I
yeah.
never had that happen. No, it did happen one time. But then I was like, I started speaking in Spanish and acting like I didn't know what he was saying. I just kept walking.
I was like, I'll buy a mask inside, and then I had people following me as I was like walking through the store.
I had
them,
a lot of people mailed me masks, and it's very sweet. You know, like my ex like mailed me a bunch of masks. She's like, "You gotta wear it to be safe, or whatever." Like, oh, but and then I wore a mask once, and I walked outside, and my neighbor was like 80 something, and he was like, "The hell is that?" I'm like, I'm trying to protect you. And he's like, "Take that the hell off." Like, I served this country. I risked my life. You think I'm afraid of nothing? I'm like,
Dude,
okay, Florida man. Okay, Florida man.
Yeah, I lived in a very rural area in the South, and no one was dealing with that shit. No one was wearing masks. They're like, fuck that. You know?
Yeah.
But it's not a high densely populated area, but still they're like, you know what? Because
it's so tough because I had a lot of my friends are in LA, right? And so it's happening. I start calling my friends, like the whole Black Lives Matter thing happens, you know. So I called up my first girl I ever dated. You know, we dated. I called her up, and she's black. I was like, "Did you know Black Lives Matter?" And she was like, "Why didn't you tell me?" I did actually. That's not a joke. None of that. I actually did. I literally called her, and I said that, and she said that. She's.
I want to hear this story. I saw an old dude with a Zorro mask and a cowboy hat. He didn't give a crap. What's the story behind that?
Zorro mask and a cowboy hat.
Sounds like fun.
It sounds like he was going somewhere.
Yeah. All right. Real quick before we get back to pop culture, I wanted to bring this up. Space Marine 3 is officially in development. Did anybody here play Space Marine 2, which came out last year?
Space Marine, it's a phenomenal game. It was a lot of fun. It's the first time I've had fun in a shooter in a long time.
It's a shooter game?
Well, it's a hack and
watch a preview.
It's kind of I can bring that up. It's like a hack and slash, but shooter at the same time.
Yeah, you run out of ammo a lot faster than you expect to whenever you're fighting hordes of enemies.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden you're just using a sword and hacking your way through these just massive.
Hey, give me a second to bring this up if you can talk about the game.
Okay. Yeah. So
did you beat it?
I didn't beat it. I played it a couple of times, and then something else came out, and I got sidetracked. But I had a blast with it.
I beat it.
Like, I'm not somebody who does a lot of like horde shooter type of games, but I had gotten away from shooter style games for a while and just mostly played RPGs. But this one, oh dude, it's great. And if you can get a couple of friends to play with you, doing a squad of 3 running through, like, oh man, it's a phenomenal game. It's a lot of fun.
It's co-op. That's amazing.
Yeah, it's co-op, and you're facing these massive hordes of enemies, and man, they do a great job with the Warhammer story being put into it.
So rare that they do co-op games. I never played them. I mean, I did as a kid, but I stopped playing them, and then I just whenever I play games, I talk the whole time.
Right.
Like, and I record it, or else I feel like I'm wasting the game, which is a horrible way to look at it.
All right.
But so I haven't played any games. I haven't played.
Let me know if this echoes at all, because the setup here is weird.
Okay.
But
I can't believe that you're the one having problems. I came into this. I was like, oh, by the way, I'm barely going to be even visible. Cool.
Yeah, Space Marines versus Tyranids.
Hell yeah. You run out of laser bullets?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you run out of every bullet.
Well, you're the Space Marines. That's how you play as the super soldiers.
Dude, did you use the paint figurines?
Oh, yeah. I was a Warhammer figure.
Yeah, this game is full of testosterone. It's ridiculous.
Cool, man. It looks like Gears of War a little bit.
Yeah, it's got a very Gears of War vibe, like the over-the-shoulder camera and everything. Like, it's great.
Oh, cool. The frames I can see, they look very good.
Yeah.
It's not echoing, but we are getting some.
But yeah,
some
that's
FPS
this
issues.
game.
Cool.
Chop.
Nice.
Yeah, that's fine.
How long is the
But
game?
yeah, you got the point though. It's the main story game is not it's not extremely long, but there's also a co-op mode that extends the campaign where you play it from a different angle. But and then there's the death matches. So if you liked the Gears of War death matches, there's something similar to that in the game.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
the multiplayer death matches are very Gears of War-esque.
Yeah. I haven't played anything from them in forever.
And the great thing about it
Warhammer
is this game is created by a small studio, so it's not one of the big. Yeah, it's not one of the big studios. So it's the fact that they did, and the game is really pretty. Like it's beautiful.
Oh yeah, it's a beautiful game.
Got a
Whenever
pretty
you watch
mouth.
guts get spread all over everything as you're hacking your way through millions.
Oh,
of pyramids.
using the chain sword, which is basically a chainsaw
what?
in a
Same
sword.
Thing? The
Yeah,
Gears of War thing.
Yeah, to using a but it's a
Chainsaw
full-up sword. But using a chainsaw to split and execute and cut someone in half is crazy.
Yeah, it's a lot of.
I gotta plug this computer in, dude. I have a computer. I have to plug it in.
Dude, get it set up.
It's gonna
plug it in, man. Like there's millions of games out there that you've been missing since you haven't been playing games.
I can't think of one. This one, that's it. What else is there?
Oh, well, I'm playing Monster Hunter Rise right now.
Oh, I never
Like I
played
said,
Monster Hunter either.
Like I said, I've
been playing Monster Hunter since 2000.
Yeah,
Right.
I've been playing through the Doom
almost
games.
played.
The new Doom game that's coming out. You said that looked interesting.
Yeah, that could be fun. I just, like I said, I'd rather not play it until I know it's awesome.
I think there's some of them you can look at and go, okay, this is gonna be awesome, and you jump on the bandwagon.
Yeah, totally. Like Skyrim.
Well, yeah, I've been actually doing a playthrough of Skyrim lately. So
yeah,
Daggerfall.
Elder Scrolls 6
Oblivion.
is gonna suck.
Is it?
It's gonna suck.
I mean, Bethesda's been kind of shit lately.
Yeah.
What if they kept the team and they isolated them from the world?
Yeah,
for the last 10 years.
It's none of the same team. I can guarantee that.
Yeah, it's not. They got rid of several of the lore writers,
dude.
Several of the people who actually made the story so great.
And we also
found that out.
And we also saw how well Starfield did.
Yeah, Starfield came out, and that was.
How is that? People like it.
No, they don't.
No,
there's portions of it. There's portions that are okay. The sound design is great. The music's great.
Yes.
The story's kind of lacking.
What about Cyberpunk 20 whatever?
That one's actually doing pretty well.
Cyberpunk was good. Yeah. The problem with Cyberpunk was that whenever it first came out, the optimization was really bad.
Okay.
And there was game-breaking glitches and stuff like that.
Yeah, it had a shitty release.
They went in and fixed all of that, and I hear that the game is just phenomenal now. That whenever I played, I didn't run into any of those game-breaking glitches. I ran into a couple like little funny things. Like, somebody would T-pose and then they'd grow to be like 30 foot tall and be as tall as a skyscraper, and they're walking down the street.
Who? Like online?
But no. Just like random NPCs in the game. Yeah.
That'd be a sweet bug, dude.
It was funny. Yes.
Oh, God.
But then
the bug again. Get him off our
and they
server.
fixed a bunch of the stuff that broke the game. And now, like, it's a highly beloved game.
Yeah, I know people that still stream it to this day, and it's, 2-3 years old now?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's still people that stream it regularly. So.
Yeah, I'll play it. If I can run it, probably can. My last computer exploded, and I just.
I want to hear that story. It exploded.
Well, I mean, it's a crazy. The story's just kind of BS, but because it didn't really explode, but it kind of made a sound, and then it all died. But I was working on a video about aliens. And I was editing it, and it was really a joke, obviously. And I was like, people of Earth, this is not a joke. Like, I have something to tell you, and you're not going to believe me, but it doesn't really matter. So what's going on is, how sometimes you have a landlord and you pay rent, But if the landlord loses his house, he's gonna come back and he's gonna need to move back in. Well, that's happening now with Earth, that kind of
thing. Yeah.
And I was like, and after I started saying something like, dude, this actually sounds pretty realistic. and then I'm like, what if it's real? And then my computer died. I'm like,
The aliens killed your computer.
This is right after the government calls me out.
You can't expose the national secrets, man. Yeah, you gotta get shut down.
All right. This next article I'm going to bring up, I want to show you guys. I'm not even going to read the article. I'm just going to let you look at the headline and look at the pictures and let you make a determination what you think.
Jenna Ortega and Taylor Russell in talks for single white female remake.
Did that movie actually do well enough to need to warrant a fucking remake?
Like,
I don't know.
But would you like to play a role? It's called single white female girl.
Yeah, but neither one of them's white.
Neither of them white. That's an interesting choice of casting.
They're doing it on purpose at this point. The Snow
I
White
know,
thing,
it's just silly.
It's all on purpose.
They're going to have to rename it or just to disassociate it from the original, but
they won't.
I found that funny.
They want to.
She's not white.
No,
kind of white. Everybody's white.
She's like white passing.
Single angry Latina.
You just gotta accept slavery as your Lord and Savior.
She's identifying as white.
Yeah, she's identifying as white. Your mic is coming in just a little bit hot, Drew.
I undid the mics and
he's on his laptop mic.
We're doing it live.
We're doing it live. Hey. Doing it live.
She's good.
I'm listening to everything you're saying, but I can't
she was doing something
until now.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with Jenna Ortega. I think she's fine. But this whole single white female is like it doesn't match up. At least rename it. Call it something else. I don't care. But
double white female.
But
whatever.
Because they want to redefine
double white female on the rocks.
What white is. Right?
Well,
because,
everything is.
Well, yeah, they're redefining all definitions, but they also want to erase the fact that people that are from, Northern European descent exist. They want that to follow into the future generations.
They want to kill all the white people because Asians are easier to tell what to do.
Yeah, they have
it says in a book.
They have a term in Hollywood called white passing.
Yeah,
like. What's his name? That played in The Mandalorian. Pedro Pascal. They call him white passing because he can pass off as a white person, even though he's Hispanic. But I mean, it is what it is. But I just find it weird. I just wanted y'all's opinion on that.
They call everyone white, and they've been doing it for the last. I mean, it's like there's only one race that they don't call white. On all the reports everywhere, it's like, well, why are you doing that? That sounds kind of racist. Only black people you don't call white? What's wrong with you?
Yeah.
Just delete race then. Well,
who
cares?
Yeah.
Except for those dirty.
Yeah. I mean,
those dirty needle heads.
I have no problem if the original content, say Lord of the Rings, and they give descriptions of the characters. I have no problem with them only casting white people for certain positions if that's the way it was described in the book.
Yeah.
But and the Rings of Power, they went completely against that. They went with homogenous society.
I understand it because I've seen movies and I'm like, dude, this is weird. But but this has never even been something that crossed my mind my whole life. You know what I mean? But then it's like Snow White and the single white females. We're like, okay, no white people are allowed to work on the movie. You see, Tyler Fisher, he was suing his manager or something like that. It was awesome. I mean, you have to.
Yeah.
It's like what a pain in the ass. You know what I'm talking about?
I don't know if I heard that story.
Tyler Fisher, he's hilarious comedian.
No, I know Tyler Fisher. I didn't know he was suing.
Well, I'm pretty sure, but yeah. So they wouldn't on the phone. They told him like, yeah, you're great. We love to have you, but turns out we just can't because we don't need any more white people. We can't have any
Yeah.
white people. He's like,
Oh,
whoa,
yeah.
Are you serious?
Oh,
And
yeah,
then he-
that part.
And he recorded it.
Yep.
Wow. It's funny, in the name of trying to prop up other races, they're being racist to the races they're not propping up. You know?
It's-
Yeah, I don't know why,
But
but I
also,
mean, I
but
feel like I do know
they
why.
do it in the worst way possible. It goes a little bit back to what I was saying before. That, like, Disney made every wrong decision they could make. You want to put people of color in Tolkien. You could have an entire swath of darker skinned elves. The elves from the south, the south. There's an entire troop of elves we never meet. They're barely mentioned, and they're tall, and they're said to be different from us.
Tiny but fierce.
Yeah.
I mean, I
She
just
is
like
fierce.
it's so ridiculous. They have the ability to put the things in they
Like
say that they
Tinkerbell.
want, but they never do it the right way.
Yeah, you're exactly right. There in Tolkien, there's a race of man that lives in the south and in the east. That in the east they're more Asian looking, in the south they're more African looking. They could have had that, and they don't have to be bad characters. They can be good guys.
Yeah.
But they could have done that. But in Rings of Power, everywhere you go in that show,
It would be the best. It would
Yeah.
be the
Yeah,
No, it doesn't make any sense.
well, not just that, but everywhere you go in Rings of Power, it's every society they touch on is homogenous. Like it's just every race and creed and color. But if you know anything about, medieval and classical cultures, most cultures were a single race, and then with the exception of homogenous. Oh, so I didn't mean homogenous. I meant it's a mixing of all races. So
You just wanted to say
Yes, diverse.
I like that word.
All right, hetero. You don't know which one that is.
Heterogeneous. But no, you know what I mean, though. It's like, most cultures grew up,
We were separated even beyond race. To the point it was like a Saxon would think that a freaking Norman was
A Saxon.
horrible person.
Yeah.
And today you can't tell someone from Saxon or Norman descent, and you couldn't even tell then, really.
Most of the time in ancient cultures, the only time you saw a society that was made up of lots of races and creeds and cultures was major empires, because they conquered vast regions beyond their own land. But
and then they executed everybody that wasn't like them and took
anyone
the
who
land.
resisted, they usually killed 80 to 90% of the population of the towns that resisted, and then took
America
the women.
is the least successful genocidal nation in history. And then they even say that. They make fun of these freaking losers. They failed. They tried to do cultural genocide. And you're like, you think they failed?
Well, look at the what everybody says. They say American imperialism, and it's like where we go and just protect all the rest of the countries and all of their people. It's not very imperialistic.
Yeah, American is a good identity.
Well, no. I would have agreed with you 100% until the USAID came out, because turns out we were pushing really crappy cultural shit on other countries.
We're culturally exporting for sure.
Yeah. No, but I mean, it's like some of the people who call us cultural imperialists, that's what they're talking about. They're talking about gay rights and the cool. McDonald's and all that shit.
So cultural
I would say we
imperialists.
weren't imperialists. But
Imperial
now it turns out we were.
America.
but the thing is, we like, they try to say that we're this big oppressive force, and we go into these countries and then we don't genocide entire countries and just take them over. We're the worst empire that's ever existed.
America.
Yep.
They don't like America because they're freedom. They have freedom. Poor people can talk. That's annoying. You got islands and stuff. Like, hey, tell him to shut up. Like, I can't. He's got the First Amendment. Dang it! So everyone else in the world can speak because America can speak.
Dang it!
Because they would literally just kill everyone. And maybe they will at some point. But you need the robots first. Right now, they're just trying to run out the clock.
That'll be soon.
They're trying to run out the clock. Like, hey, look, watch these movies. You like them? No. Like, we don't know how to make anything good. Like, we know. Hire us. No, no.
Have you seen the new Daredevil show? The Reborn? Born Again?
Yeah, the one where he goes born again. Yeah, he's born again.
Yeah. Well, they try to bring back all the actors, the writers, and things like that. And they even shot a bunch of 6 or whatever episodes. And then it was such garbage that Charlie Cox and Vincent D'Onofrio went to like the creators and they're like, we can't continue to make this. It's horrible. It's
Hold on.
ridiculous.
What are you talking about? So they made a whole season, right? And the season came out.
Yeah, a couple of years ago they made the season, and then they're like, we need to can this. We need to start again, and they started again. And now
Yeah, the main two actors, the guy who plays Daredevil, and Kingpin. They said this is not work. They said this is not working for us. It is awful. We don't want this to go out. So then they did a bunch of reshoots. Yeah, they did a bunch of reshoots.
And they added in a bunch of CGI.
You still don't like it.
Flipping off buildings and being all rubber-like.
Well, the CGI looks awful. I mean, it's standard modern-day Disney CGI. They're not putting good effort into it. Honestly,
but that's not Daredevil. That wasn't the next Netflix Daredevil. It was all down to earth. It was street level. It was the hallway scenes. It's like they made a new way to like do fight scenes because they didn't want or didn't.
Yeah,
what do you mean?
CGI.
Okay, so he's talking about the hallway scene, the fight scene in the first season. I think it was episode 2. It was freaking awesome. It was a one shot, if I'm not mistaken, a one shot.
Well,
cut.
it's meant to look like a one shot. They might take liberties here and there, but
but it's like no CGI, just him beating the crap out of a bunch of guys
and getting the shit kicked out of him too. That was part of what made it feel so real.
Yeah, and we don't need a bunch of CGI in a street level, show like Daredevil. And they're inputting it in. Okay, there's one scene in Daredevil Born Again where a guy throws a smoke grenade into a bar.
Him?
Well, he throws a smoke grenade into a bar. They CG'd the smoke.
And the
grenade. You can't just use real smoke?
Why?
Yeah. I don't know if
exactly.
We didn't even use CG on Annoying Orange. We would just vape.
That would have been better than CG.
Exactly. Yeah, but it's like they can't even.
Everyone has a vape in California.
It's like you think it would be cheaper to use real smoke than CG the smoke,
Here's the thing, Al. It would be cheaper, and they won't do it.
It doesn't make any sense.
For some reason, they won't do it.
And it just looked awful.
Thing
the fake smoke just looked awful.
Money. Yeah, they get
paid a lot of money.
Venture capitalist, loans and things like that, or government credits and tax write-offs and stuff like that. Then they make this horrible half computer, half video game thing with real actors, and it's all garbage lately. That's why I've been into westerns. I've been into the Yellowstone in 1883 and 1923. It's just better.
It's to the point
Yellowstone?
Where. Oh yeah, that's a pretty good show.
Old Yellowstone.
Yeah, it's like a modern.
I wouldn't watch that one.
It's like a modern western, dude. But
poor dog.
But yeah, it's to the point where the stuff you see coming out today looks worse than Lord of the Rings from 20-something years ago.
Yeah, but that
I love those
incredible
movies.
Still.
Those Lord of the Rings movies are my favorite collection of movies ever.
Yeah,
Person of Interest is a TV show that's like, Person of Interest is like a TV show that was 2011. And, it's good. The effects are good. They're not like groundbreaking, but it doesn't matter. But it's the real fighting.
You can overcome bad special effects or whatever this minor key thing is with better writing, better chemistry with the actors, better directing. Yeah. You can add more stuff into it. And
he also shoots people. And Daredevil doesn't shoot people. He shoots, and it's tough because I'm like, dude, how are you going to shoot people? Because every episode, he shoots them only in the arm. And then he gets shot. And then I'm like, and then every single time someone's about to shoot him, they get shot first.
Well,
like every time someone's about to shoot the good guys, suddenly they get shot and fall down.
Well,
it's like you can only shoot so many times.
Changing the rules.
Yeah.
Where they're not even using real guns anymore. They don't want to use real guns or even blanks or something like that. They want to just hold up a prop
they CG the gun
add in
blast.
The ADR. Yeah, so they're
it's
just like because a toy and sound effects.
Huh. Well, Alec Baldwin did end up killing one and injuring another on a movie set, so
right.
It's kind of
so that's going to change the whole movie.
But do they use
because that's what Hollywood does. One weird thing happens and they change up everything that they're doing, and then they make it worse.
Do they use real guns with the blanks? Yeah, they're real guns.
Yeah. Most guns were real.
Sometimes, but sometimes they don't. I've seen on shows where you see them shooting and it's just a CG blast coming out the front of the gun.
Ew.
Yeah, that's true.
They're
but
doing that
previously, like they had used real guns
Right.
with the blanks.
That's
And they
Yeah.
stopped doing that once there was an ammo mix-up on the set of Rust.
sure. And so the reason they want to do that is because they don't want to have real guns anywhere. They don't want to have real guns
Yeah.
on set at all.
Probably
but
the
they wanna have-
insurance is just going up.
not
Their
have-
policies, the actors' policies or contracts, it's some kind of liability,
Yeah, there's a
but it's
million
taking away
reasons.
the authenticity of it.
Well,
Yeah,
I don't
but
like
you
to,
can tell whenever they do that.
I don't
Yeah.
like to discuss how many guns I have because the government may be listening.
The government is always listening.
I know.
Well, and it's the anti-gun movement where they don't want to use, even in the shows or in the movies, they don't want to imply that they're bullets. They'll use these like stun gun type things. So like, oh, we just shot and stunned
see,
them.
I don't-
We no,
yeah, I
our
don't
guns
know.
are
Yeah.
stunning. Like
There's
Can't
this
do that.
there's
I
a
don't even wanna
ridiculous
watch that.
theory. There's a ridiculous theory that one of the reasons that we have such gun culture in this country isn't centuries of tradition or pioneering values. No, it's because Hollywood put too many guns in too many shows, and kids grew up thinking that guns were cool because of those shows. And
Guns
so
are
that's why we
cool.
have to take all the guns out of the shows so that we can raise new kids who don't like guns.
But wait,
Yeah.
guns are cool.
And I didn't like, and I did not ever see my first gun on screen before I had one put in my hands.
Yeah, no, I think we should go
That's
back to the Old
culture.
West, and we should just have people do stuff, like the Old West, like bounties. There should be bounties. You
Agreed.
should get a
There are
couple
bounties.
Satoshi. You should be able to go and find a swatter or something like that, and then like dead or alive, maybe you get an extra Satoshi if they're alive, and you go get them.
Yeah. No, I'm
Or
all
whoever-
for-
Someone, okay, I'm joking, but kind of.
In
I'm actually
Minecraft.
not joking.
No,
Like,
but
like
in another country.
bounty hunters. Yeah,
An
bounty
armed
hunters.
society
Actually,
is a
Literally,
polite
if
society.
it's not getting done, then just, okay, do you want to get paid to go catch the criminals? Okay. And then you just, like, I guess they would be in, where are they? Where are the swatters at? Ukraine or Russia or whatever?
You
I
can't
think
say
they
those
caught-
countries on YouTube.
Was that?
I
I
think
said you can't say those countries' names on YouTube. YouTube
Why?
gets mad.
Well, they're both mad at us.
I think
Yep.
yeah. Wow.
So who knows? I mean, it could be Americans, but hopefully
No,
not.
You got
there
Game of
was
Thrones
the
topics?
guy who was swatting Tim Pool.
I think he was caught.
Yeah, he got caught recently. And
When?
I believe he was an
Was
American.
swatting?
Well,
yeah,
he swatted Benny Johnson and a
couple times.
bunch of other conservative YouTubers were getting swatted. Apparently, the guy was found, and I think they caught him.
Was one
Yeah.
dude did all of it?
Oh yeah, he was using like
One
bot
man can
network
make a
and all sorts of
difference.
stuff. And
Yeah,
that
he-
one man
swatted
is going to be in
700
jail for a
people.
long time.
Anyways, Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones. All right, so I'll bring this article up.
I used to, when I first
I
started
don't-
watching Game of Thrones. Hold on, just to tell you something. I watched like the first
Yeah, go ahead.
episode, and it was good. And then incest and all this stuff going on, right? And I keep watching it, and I'm like, it's like nothing is happening except there's like boobs and incest. It gets good, it does. But I did a remake of the song. I never posted, but it's like these shows. I can't curse on here either. Booping pointless. Nothing happens every episode. Nothing ever. Well, nothing was happening. Everyone loved this show, and it was funny at the time. Now the show's great. It's a great show.
All right.
If you like
Yeah,
boobs and incest,
I like
what
boobs.
words can you not say? I
Not
don't
so
know.
much incest. So yeah, this article basically summarizes what George R. R. Martin's doing. He's got a bunch of shows going on, but in the article he states, "I need to get back and finish the books." How
What's
long
he
has
doing?
it been?
Telling you
Let's
that
go
for
over
years,
there
George.
and help him out.
Exactly. No shit. When's the last time? How long has it been
I
since
could
his last
go
book
take
came
him
out?
take him to focusing like
7
writing
years?
room. Let me get it
11
done.
years? It's been 11
Yeah,
years since he
it's-
posted
it's-
his last book.
It's over 10 years. I know that. I know.
You know what's
Gary
so-
Nerdrotic has a count of when
Damn,
his
dude.
last book came out, how many days it was, but
But the whole
I
thing
know
is,
it's
like,
been over 10
It's
years.
not even just that he's so many years late on Winds of Winter. There's supposed to be another book after Winds of Winter.
Yeah, he's got 2 more books he's supposed to put out.
Should be at least a documentary about how he's not making a book yet.
There was a funny skit that Conan O'Brien did on George R. R. Martin not finishing the book, and this was like 8 or 9 years ago. And it was funny because they had video cameras set up in George R. R. Martin's house, and they're like, okay, he looks like he's getting down to do his book, and then he runs and jumps in the pool, and then he's like playing with like an RC car, and it's like, come on, George.
Yeah.
That's a reality show.
Didn't he write for other like books and everything too before? Game
Yeah,
of
no.
Thrones? Wasn't
So
like, a
he
big
was
writer?
one of
That's
the
hilarious.
co-writers on Elden Ring. George
Yeah.
R. R. Martin helped construct
one of the games.
world for the game Elden Ring.
That's one of those games
Yeah.
I haven't played.
Mhm.
That's
Yeah.
supposed to be. That's a good one. One the game of the year.
Yeah, it's a great one.
Yeah.
Matan, that guy.
But yeah,
Okay.
George R. R. Martin does not give a shit after he made his millions of dollars
Yeah.
on, his magnum opus.
Why is he talking about it?
Because he wants to stay relevant at this point.
Well, he's still
not
doing the
writing
shows.
story anymore. He's assisting in production on the
Yeah,
shows.
the shows. I think the shows are a lot less work for him. All he has to do is
I think
like, hey, don't do this or do that.
Yep.
As opposed to
No.
writing a book.
Yeah.
You know.
Instead of actually sitting down and working, he gets to sit down and be a general manager of, hey, don't do that. That wouldn't happen. And that's all he does.
So what happened to the last book?
Yep.
Somebody else.
He hasn't
wrote-
finished it.
Yeah, but somebody else took it and
Well-
made it into the whole season.
Okay,
or
so the
last
way it
episode,
worked-
or what was that?
Oh, sorry.
He wrote his books only up to a certain point. So when the show got to the point
Right.
where they didn't have any more books to go on, they improvised, and you
Right.
saw a solid decline in the quality of the show
When?
after they ran out. After they ran
I
out
heard
of
about
material.
this. Do you know where? You know when that
It was
Season
after
5 was when
yeah,
it
it was doing
started.
John-
Oh, I thought it
John-
happened in season 1.
No.
yeah, it was when Jon Snow
Because I was
died.
watching
John
season 1,
dies.
I was like, these shows.
Yeah. It was the
nothing happens every episode.
But yeah, it was-
Everyone I know watches this show. Well, nothing happens. Nothing ever fucking happens.
Dude, put that video out. If you've still got it, put it out.
No,
People will love
I
that.
don't.
Part of the problem is they're pretty sure that those last few seasons were done with notes from George, and therefore the ending that everybody hates,
Yeah.
could have been the end. What he was eventually really going to do with the books, and now he knows that everybody hates that idea, so now he has to figure
Nah.
out something
Well,
else.
That's a dumb idea.
one of the-
Come on.
One of the
Who does that?
problems is that, like, even if it was
He
done
takes
with his
over and
notes,
murders everyone. Sorry.
they rushed the ending. That
Yeah.
was part of the
It was
problem.
so
Was that
rushed.
they crammed everything into that
One
final
episode.
season.
Oh, okay.
It was the entire
Well,
final season is fucking.
Wasn't it a
awful.
shorter season too?
Yeah.
Yes, it was. It was shorter, and it was because the
I
directors
like
were
the
ready
final
to
season.
move on to do. They did another show right after. They had to start filming soon,
You didn't like
so
the whole
they
final
rushed
season?
it. They
I feel like I remember those episodes in the final season. I was like, damn, dude.
Well, okay, so they were so abusive to it that there were episodes that aired on HBO Live that had Starbucks coffee cups in them, like
Yep.
because
Yeah,
the
they
production
weren't paying
assistants
attention to the
moved-
set.
Exactly, they weren't paying attention to the set. They didn't give a shit about the story. They were just like, okay, we got to get
Oh,
to the end.
There
Let's
was
just
another
finish
episode where they had like an Aquafina water bottle like next to a chair.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, that was the last episode.
Everything's better with Starbucks in the belly.
Uh,
Well, so
well, even the
that
actors,
is
they-
also why some
they
people
do
think
the,
that
table reads, and the actors are like, "This is not my character at all. What the
Yeah.
hell is it?"
Yeah.
Yeah, the whole thing got confused there at the end. And they crammed the end of what is an epic story.
Yep.
They crammed it into I think it was like 8
6.
episodes.
Or
Yeah,
like
something
6
like
or
that.
8.
Yeah, they
It's
just
not a lot. I
shoved
just
it all
rewatched it,
together.
and it was like torture.
God, it was awful.
I know. It's been so long I haven't seen it, but when I watched it, I was like, oh, I get it. And as soon as I started liking it, cut off the dude's situation.
Oh yeah, they cut off his.
Yeah, that
his,
was rough.
his-
Like, ah!
Ramsey
cut off.
Bolton.
They cut off his twig and berries.
Yeah, that was rough watching that again.
Again? Why you got that on repeat?
He watches it every other Sunday.
Yeah. It's about that time again.
6 times. It's fine.
Go for the
Name
record.
there.
But no,
Go ahead.
I was gonna say I just think Martin at this point he just likes to bring up that he's trying to finish his stories and trying to finish filming things. But I don't think he's actually. Look at him. He's sitting there in a fucking bowler hat with rose-colored aviators. He's
good.
He's living high on the hog.
That's
like
like you
George
gave me some of
He's
those.
trying to say common nerds look.
Right.
What does he
He's like
talk like?
George Lucas, but that didn't sell to Disney. So he gets to keep all the, all the money coming in, and he doesn't have to make anything new.
Yep.
Yeah, he's got the golden handcuffs.
He's got his fingers
Only of the
crossed.
best kind.
He is hoping that he dies before
Racist
anybody really starts grilling him on finish the books. He wants to just be done and out of it. He doesn't want anything to do with it anymore.
Well, you
I
know
think
what?
he'll leave behind a bunch of notes for someone to finish as his legacy. And then
Yeah,
he
you know what?
doesn't have to deal with the backlash if whatever it is sucks.
All you got to do is add it at Grok.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Maybe he had the first AI, and he used AI to make the Game of Thrones, to write it, and now it doesn't work anymore because it got all corrupted when everybody else got access to it.
I would see.
Maybe.
This is why there needs to be a documentary.
I would love if that
Expose it all.
documentary just started with somebody walking into his office with a camera on him and just goes, dude, what the fuck? Opening line.
Immortality has been
All right.
Well,
invented.
maybe Elon
I-
Musk
George
can be
R. R.
like,
Martin
"Oh,
is still alive. He still has
I-
not
okay.
made the books.
I
what are
found-
five
I
things
found
you
the
did
clip.
last week,
I found
George?"
the clip from Conan O'Brien. I don't care if
Oh.
we get struck for this. I'll cut it out, but I
No.
want to show this.
How long can
Hopefully,
you show a
my
clip on YouTube? I don't know. 15
I don't
seconds?
know if we'll get claimed for it. This is just a clip on YouTube.
Just pause
but-
it every couple seconds
Yeah,
and wave your hand.
yeah. It's not that long, so I think we'll be fine. And hopefully the video
Hey.
isn't choppy. My weather's outside is calmed down, so
Okay.
all right. So let's try this.
All week. I haven't seen the footage yet, but I'm excited to see how he's getting along with the book. Let's check it out. Let's see what he's doing. There he is. Looking at it. Oh, that's not a good sign.
Ooh, doubles.
That is
Doubles.
not, does not look productive. Does not look productive. Maybe he's, I don't know.
Pause it.
For God's sake.
Pause it.
Yeah, that's
This is real?
I'm sure.
No,
This
it
was
was-
a
this is a
bit.
skit,
It was
but-
a bit.
it was a skit, and George R. R.
That's what
Martin
I
was in on
figured.
it. But it's funny because that's how everyone feels. He's not doing his. He's not writing
You
his
said
book.
His job.
earlier
He's not
that
doing
he-
his job.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. But
He
you said
was,
earlier
he
that
was
he
allowed
did
to buy
actually.
a mansion.
Someone walked in on him and he actually was playing with race cars. But this is what you meant?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
scripted.
Yeah, it's scripted, but that's how everyone that was a fan of his books
Right.
feels
That's
when
funny.
he's not. Yeah,
It's an artist rendering.
That is, no, that's not helping in any way. Get the book written. There will be no Toys
What an
R Us.
ugly backyard,
Hey, he's
George.
thinking, Andy. He's
Oh.
thinking.
Get
I
the
have
hell
an
out of
idea.
that.
I think he's thinking
Oh.
it.
what?
Yes, I think he's got an idea. George R. R. Martin has an idea. This, oh God.
He looks like a good, fun guy.
Yeah, he looks like he's fun to hang out with, but
Where's he
Never
at?
drums.
Vegas, they got fake grass. Blech.
yeah. Who does that? Who has fake grass?
California.
He's-
Lots of people.
What is this?
California.
What's
California
this?
don't
The
do that,
19?
do they?
What is this? The Brady Bunch?
Fake grass sucks, dude.
All
All
right.
right, okay, hold on. Let's see. He's gonna get to work soon. I know he is. I really know he's gonna get to work very soon. Where is he?
It's amazing. It's like looking at my
It really
friggin'
is.
house while I'm in school. Like,
No!
All right, that's basically the end of it. That's funny though.
Yeah,
George,
that's
what are you
that's
doing,
exactly what it
George?
feels like. I've read.
It feels like
there's,
that for the people that are fans
awesome.
of his books and
Yeah.
they're pissed
I-
off.
I've read most of the books from the series, A Game of Thrones.
would it be
And-
illegal to write a book of about another guy just writing another book for him and trying to get it to him? So he'd publish it.
No, that actually might be really
That's a
fun.
great
And then
idea.
just like actually make the book and just make it beautiful and heartfelt and actually put the real new book in there and
Yeah, just make it
No, it
make
would have
the
to be-
work,
Honestly-
the love for the world. Yeah,
Yeah, in reality, he could, because he's getting
And just
older.
changing
Maybe he
the
just
name,
wants to
like-
hang out and enjoy his money. He could hire someone to ghostwrite it, or him just kind of, them write it and him kind of give tweaks.
He knows that.
But he won't.
Well, why
Yeah,
not?
that's the problem. Is he won't.
Yeah, it's going to be
Like,
about Tom
just
Snow.
do that
and
at
how
least.
he becomes king.
Yeah. But all right, let me. I got one other thing we can share here. Bring it up. Is anybody here a Doctor Who fan? Watched
Yes.
it? Familiar with
Yes.
it? Okay, so you can
kinda
talk to
like it.
this.
Yeah, I'm
So-
moderate.
Glad we got
Bring
time
this
to-
up.
I know nothing.
Russell T Davies. He
Oh.
did some popular stuff in the 2000s,
Late
90s,
90s
2000s?
into the 2000s. Yeah.
90s and
2000s with Doctor
yeah.
Who. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, he came back to the show. He's not the same man he was then.
No. he's not.
And the episodes.
What's
if
that
you
mean?
Look at he was more
Shaking.
radicalized
Yes,
politically.
and yeah, since he left being a producer or a writer, he has changed his view of the world in many, many ways, and he wants to change who to
Too
go
much-
with those
too much
new
Twitter.
views.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he came back when Disney bought Doctor Who. Not bought, but I don't know how it worked. Did they buy it? I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they acquired it through another purchase. But
Okay.
yeah, they got the rights to it.
So he basically in this
The
article says-
Whoosiana purchase?
So basically, he says,
Pretty
I
much.
thought it would need protecting, is what he says with Disney. And the honest opinion is everything that went on in the recent Doctor Who seasons, where he was the show lead, he
Was-
went right along with everything
Yeah.
Disney wanted.
He made it worse.
Yeah.
Mm.
I
Tiny, if you want to talk to this.
I was like, when Russell T Davies first brought back Who, he'd been a fan of the old show. He wanted to do this, and we had Crystal Eccleston as the Ninth Doctor.
Yeah.
And he was really, really great at playing a character, the transitional character you needed, which was from the end of the old series ended with the Time War, and basically his entire planet is gone, all of his people are gone, a whole bunch of the stuff from the original series has just been obliterated, and he had so much passion and fire, and he calms down, and then he gets transformed into the 10th Doctor, which is David Tennant's Doctor, which is generally considered most people's favorite Doctor. And it was amazing. The stories had diversity, inclusion, and equality, if not equity, all over the place. And you didn't care because it made sense. It was beautiful.
Yeah, I would say it didn't have equity; it had equality.
That's what I said, equality, if not
Yeah.
equity. But I just
Equity's bad.
yes,
yeah,
equity
equity's
is bad.
bad, equality's good.
Yes.
Yeah.
But the point is, like, he gave us everything that they claim that they want us to have, and every lesson that they want us to learn without bitch slapping us with it, without
Yeah.
shoving it down our throats, or without going way off the deep end. And it just drives me nuts that same man has come back and destroyed all of that.
Oh, yeah, he
Well-
came back and he was basically a 180 from what he was
Yeah.
the first
Absolutely.
attempt.
In a good way or a bad way?
Bad
way.
very bad way.
There was a cultural takeover that happened, and we're seeing the culture shift back in the direction of truth and things like that. But
And merit.
Reality.
Yeah.
yeah, truth, merit,
yes, please,
all of
merit.
that. But
Swastikas.
there was a
No.
time.
Have you looked at X recently?
Yeah,
Kanye.
I get a lot of it.
Oh,
But
Kanye.
there
Fuck
was
Kanye.
there was a short time in there after Russell T Davies had, like, he started off strong, and then there was a time where the cultural Marxists, as I like to refer to them as, had taken over the culture itself.
Yep.
And he was somebody who was brought into that fold. He was taken in, he was embraced, and then he needed to also espouse the virtues that they were espousing. He got brainwashed, and he fucked up something that was a multi-generational love show.
Yeah,
Nah,
you had.
you could fix it. You could fix Disney too in like a couple years.
I,
This is
I-
not. We have
I
to
do-
do something, But
I
it could be
agree. I do think you can fix these brands, but some of them may take longer to fix than others.
Yeah, just put
Shelve
the best
it.
of the best in those companies, and then just leave them for a little bit.
Because there's a lot of brand damage in some of the brands, but I think they can be fixed as long if they were
Same with
put
the game
on
companies. They
ice.
fired the best people because they're like, "Hey, nice booty, girl."
Well, ironically enough, whenever they were doing that and not being arrested for SA, we were having a lot better
You can't even say
content coming
SA, which is hilarious. But people say grape, which I think is like very offensive. It's like, are you trying to make this cute for kids to hear?
That you just reminded me of that Kids in the Hall skit. Rape you in the mouth.
What?
If you haven't seen that, look at the Kids in the Hall.
I didn't. They
Grape.
started it. They started that whole.
Yeah. But
Amazing. They were funny.
Yeah, that was good. Dave Foley.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Pre news radio back in the day.
Next thing I want to bring up, and this is more for discussion from you guys, but I saw this earlier this week on the Twitter, but and I'll read it out because it's kind of time.
Oh
it's
yeah.
kind of small.
I had a lot to say.
All
I
right.
had a bunch to say
So,
that on that already.
She says, whenever
Oh, yeah.
I talk to my girlfriends who are looking for a husband and good father for their future kids, there's always one recurring turnoff: man children. Men who cosplay even Lord of the Rings are obsessed with Legos, Marvel, Star Wars, basically toys in general. It's the number one consistent complaint I hear from women, not only my friends. I replied to this and said, well, what about for men who are looking for a decent woman? All they can ever find is single mothers.
They're into
You know?
reality shows. You know?
And this also says, like, are you not allowed to have hobbies? I get it. Some people can go overboard with their hobbies, and that affects their relationships. I get that. But this is sounding like you need to pay all your attention to me and not have any hobbies of your own, you know?
Yeah.
But
Well,
I want to
I've
hear what
heard
you guys
that for
think.
different things. I've heard that for working out. They're like, oh, he just goes to the gym like almost every day. What is wrong with him? And it's like,
What?
are you kidding me? Yeah.
No
get weird
idea.
shit
Never
like
heard
that.
anything like this. But I think none of these are problems anymore. Star Wars fixed itself. Marvel's working on it.
Not.
Legos. I
No,
mean, I
it's
think
not.
got some weird
No,
Legos
no.
happening.
No.
Now there's lots of weird shit happening. What this is reminiscent of the group of people that think that gamers are sitting in a basement, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm sitting on the second floor of my 2-story house streaming with my hundreds of dollars of anime figures behind me because I am a productive member of society who goes out and works and makes money. These are the people who think gamers don't make any money, people who play video games, enjoy anime, enjoy things like that.
Also,
They're nothing.
I know, but I'm old enough to
That's
remember.
exactly right.
I'm old enough to remember in school that, you know, you came in with a Star Wars shirt on, you know, everyone would ridicule you. You were
great.
the nerd.
That's how I
You know,
prefer.
Star Wars, Star Trek. I'm fine with that.
Not Star
Let
Wars.
it be a niche
I like
thing.
Star Wars.
I would rather it
and
be
that-
niche.
that
I
was
just
the
put my
thing.
own stuff on.
It was
Yeah.
much better.
Learned that we should have gate kept all of this shit and not let it become the cultural norm and let
Yeah.
other people be part of these fandoms, because we have to gatekeep what we love. Otherwise, people
because
come
there's
in.
hot chicks and
and
they're
make it
not gonna
terrible.
like the same stuff. You want them around though.
I did.
Like, hi, oh, I love magic. We believe you.
And
I
then
don't
they
love
get
magic.
in and they
I love
ruined it.
comics.
Not ever. Most people don't.
Hey, it brings
yeah, I
people
think that
together
that's what she's
sometimes
talking
too.
about.
It creates.
Yep.
I don't
But
And
know.
what's the
it's-
alternative? People are into
I
like
think
freaking
the-
reality shows.
Yeah, I think the biggest point is here, if you're looking for a spouse, look for someone that respects your hobbies.
Yeah.
Obviously, don't be an asshole that's so involved in your hobbies you're not spending any time with your spouse or your
Absolutely.
significant other. But
Dude, how could you not like the coolest stuff in the world? This doesn't even make any sense.
yeah, I know. But it's like finding a spouse that or a significant other that respects the things that you like. Obviously, you respect the things that she or he likes.
Hanging from the roof on hooks.
Sure.
You allowed to say that? That's a real
Talked
thing.
about before.
That is a
the
real
pandemic.
thing.
I mean, that
I got
is
some
a real
stories
thing.
about that. I got, oh man, I can't probably tell them because they're terrifying. YouTube doesn't like terror.
Post YouTube.
Probably after YouTube.
Let's
It's not
wait for
that
the
bad,
Rumble.
actually. It's just these people hanging on the roof of the house. And I was like, what are you doing? I mean, it's a real thing. Have you seen the movie
Definitely
Cellar?
a hobby that
The
should be
Cellar?
talked about before marriage.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what we talked about before marriage. See that exactly. Like, why is every girl trying to hang herself from the roof on hooks? Ugh, get a cool hobby.
Well, that was actually what I said when I responded to that on X, which was I would rather have a man
That's a good sketch.
who has good, healthy hobbies than a woman who's ungrateful and does nothing but nag.
Yeah.
Professor
That's a good
Savage
sketch,
just
though. You could have the guys doing the nerdy stuff, right? He's like, why don't you just join me in one of my social groups?
Professor Savage says, "Be right back. I'm gonna go grab my wife's ass."
Is it the one where they hang themselves from the ceiling with the hooks? It's the only one I love. Oh my god, it's weirder.
Hey, Hayden's got to take off.
Yeah,
Hayden,
I do.
can you tell us where to find you? What you're up to throughout the week?
Yeah. So this coming up week, you can find me on Alec Baldwin's Fingers channel for Off the Hip on Monday tomorrow, and then on Late and Gay with the GCA every Wednesday. We cover pop culture, and things get crazy over there sometimes. But we have a Discord, the GCA Discord. I will try to post a link before I have to just totally bounce out, but. Thank you guys so much for having me on. Toby, it was wonderful to meet you.
Yeah.
It's been great hanging out with you guys.
That was fun.
It's a pleasure. Have a nice night.
All right, y'all have a good one.
Tiny but fierce.
I'll see you later.
Take care.
See ya.
So we only have a little bit of time left, but I've got a video I want to show. Go ahead.
Do it. No, do it.
Yeah. So everyone here probably knows Stan Lee. He's a lovable guy. He was great. He was an icon in the comic business. He did spots in almost every one of the Marvel movies up until like the end of Phase 3 or something like that.
I knew this person that was always traveling around with him towards the end of his life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess you've
Told
seen
me
this.
about it.
I guess
Yeah.
you've seen this.
You
So
know
we're
this
gonna
guy?
bring it up.
Turns out, not a good thing.
No.
So we'll go ahead and we'll play this and see what everyone thinks. Hopefully
the
my
guy.
internet's not shit, but
No.
Yeah,
My
this
name
guy's
is John
a-
Bullerjack, and for the last 4 years of Stanley's life, I was his assistant, his confidant, but most importantly, his friend. I traveled the world with him, witnessing firsthand the incredible highs of his legendary career,
This is the bad guy?
but also the heartbreaking lows. Stan spent his final years enduring mistreatment, manipulation, and betrayal at the hands of a few very bad actors.
Is there any way to get us out of the San Francisco thing? Or do you feel we gotta do it? Gotta do it.
At the time, I didn't have the power to stop it, but I did have a camera and I filmed everything.
Whoa, watch out!
Now I'm asking for your help to finish the film and finally get justice for Stan. This documentary includes first-hand accounts from key witnesses, including comic book legends like Rob Liefeld and Roy Thomas, as well as many others who saw the chaos and unethical acts. This isn't speculation, it's all on camera. Undeniable,
This is old Stan Lee coming at you. No, you're not old.
irrefutable,
I thought I was finished.
Shut your mouth, old man.
But apparently I'm not.
no ambiguity. With your help, we can finish the film, expose the truth, and give Stan the justice he deserves.
so
Stanley, the final.
Hell yeah.
chapter.
I saw
When was
just recently, last month or so. So I saw a follow-up interview because he was getting a lot. The guy that made this was getting a lot of crap online.
Yep.
People are saying that he didn't intervene enough. But in the follow-up interview, he says that in multiple occasions when he was doing this, following Stan Lee, Stan Lee gave him verbal permission to document like kind of what's going on, him touring and whatnot. And he said that multiple other people had come up and raised the alarm. And every single person that went up and raised the alarm, they were within the next day or two, they were gone. They disappeared, and when he asked questions, they said they got caught stealing from Stan Lee. So he didn't. He wanted to keep the opportunity to keep documenting it without getting thrown out. So
Yeah.
I can see why he didn't intervene in the way he wanted to, and in fact, he actually got cops involved. He called the cops. They were coming over regularly.
Damn.
Technically, no law was being broken. This was in the state of California. No law was being broken. It was still elder abuse in everyone's minds, but no law was being broken. It got to the point where the lead investigator basically told him, "You need to give this up." So
never done that to Hugh Hefner.
Exactly. But yeah,
you have to bang a bunch of young women. Otherwise,
yeah,
Stan did that too. Stan did that too.
It's probably
Did he?
yeah. But it's sad.
Yeah.
This shit is sad because
he's known to be a little bit handsy.
I think
I
it
have
was
friends who got her ass pinched by him.
Nice. I think it was around 2017. They said that Stan's wife died. He started his mental acuity started deteriorating, and they were just pumping.
Yeah,
they increased his show on this market, to get go out doing signatures, whatnot, and he just wasn't all there. And they were doing it. Certain people were doing it just for the money, and come to find out in that documentary, people were scuffing off money off the top for themselves.
Oh yeah,
the people that were involved.
Turns out they did it for the wrong crypto.
But yeah, they were cutting money off the top for themselves, so not all the money went to Stan.
Like, he's got all these people that work for him, and you it's hard to even know like where your money's coming in, where it's going out, what you're paying for, and then he's just like, you guys know, like when you travel, you're not in the same spot all the time, and it's just craziness. I can't imagine. And then at that age too, you got to be able to trust the people that you're with.
And there's one point in the documentary where they said they were at a con and they wanted him to keep signing signatures because they knew if they sent him back to his hotel room to take a nap, he'd be out the rest of the day. So they put him in his little mobile chair next to a garbage can to sleep.
Jesus.
Because they knew he would only sleep for like an hour and then he'd wake up and start signing more stuff.
Well, that's how you do it. Or you just have somebody else sign it and say it was you.
I mean, they could have
That's
done that.
what I would do.
It doesn't work at a con.
That's what.
Yeah, at a con doesn't work because they're in front of you.
Thing.
Yeah.
But at a con it doesn't necessarily work if you're standing right in front of them. But regardless, they abused this guy in his last couple of days.
Yeah.
Because
of years.
Yeah, a couple of years. So yeah, it's sad.
It is sad. And then right after that, he missed a whole chapter of everybody having a fun time, hanging out at home. He would have loved it.
Yeah, he avoided that. He avoided
that's right. He did pass away before that.
The shift in the society, in the world.
You're like,
but no, there is a correlation between Stan Lee passing away and the MCU going straight downward. Like, I got to believe when he stopped doing cameos, that's when the MCU it was on.
It just nosedived.
Yep. That's what I'm going with. I don't know. I don't care what they say. Stan Lee kept everybody in check at the MCU until he was gone.
Mm-hmm. I'll totally sign off on that.
Well, yeah. I mean, hey, despite some internet interruptions for a few of us, especially me, pretty good show off the wall, but it was a lot of fun. Yeah, Toby, thanks for jumping on and making this happen. Yeah,
of course,
and my co-host for keeping it going.
We appreciate it. It was great.
Yeah, I heard everything that was going on. I heard all the conversations, but every time I tried to talk or share a screen or change tabs, everything went away. So
I was having internet issues too.
I'm watching my own destruction here.
My internet's fine. I mean, it's been horrible.
Yeah, way to set the bar low for yourself, and then the rest of us, I'm like, oh, I'll be good. And no,
it's been so bad. I couldn't watch videos on my computer. I'm having to use my phone's internet. Anyways.
But awesome, Toby. Where can people find you? What are you up to?
Getting ready to move. I don't know. We'll see. Tobuscus. I haven't been posting stuff though, but maybe in 20 years I'll start posting some stuff again.
Yeah, you're going away.
Yeah.
You're doing the George R. R. Martin.
I ain't.
You know,
Well, I have a book that's actually done that I could publish before he is, and it's not the same at all, but it's so
You
good.
should challenge him. Be like, George, let's go.
Like, George, I'm going to procrastinate you to the end.
Well,
Which
dude,
one of us can put it off the longest?
Well, dude, you're always welcome back anytime you
Absolutely.
want. Just let us
Sweet.
know. Just let
Thanks, guys.
Drew know. We'll make it happen.
Absolutely.
Cool. All right, man. I'll talk to you later.
Tiny. Yep.
All right. See ya.
Peace.
Night.
I did
Tiny,
that.
what about
I keep doing hand symbols, and I'm like, dude, symbolism. I was trying to do that. Okay. Balls. Did it work?
Nope.
No, you can
You're
stay
still
on.
here. Oh, okay. He's gone.
He's gone. That was fun. Tiny, what about you? What do you got going on this week?
You can always find me on X at Won't Be Boxed. You will find me back here next Sunday for Pop Culture Patriots at 4:00 Pacific. And you can find me every single Friday at 9:30 Pacific on Drunken Emerald Arrow's channel for Insert Title Here podcast. I also do D&D on every other Saturday. We just had one yesterday, so I won't have one next week. But you should go watch it on Heavy Metal Nate's channel. We had a lot of fun. A lot of interesting things going on. I may be turning evil. We'll see.
Well, keep your good side. Just make it evil side too. So just make it all
I've been offered the powers of the goddess of death.
Okay.
Oh.
I don't know what that means, but document it. Sounds entertaining. Awesome. What about you, Alf?
Hey everyone, I am Horny Alf. I do gaming content for the most part, and I also have this show on my channel. I just finished Doom 2016 on Saturday. It was a great ending. Go check that out. I did a poll in my chat on what game they want me to do next in the Doom series. Between Doom 3 and Doom Eternal, they want me to play Doom Eternal, which I have, so we're going to play that next, and then Doom 3, and then hopefully the new Doom game will come out. As far as the rest of this week, Monday I'm playing Skyrim. I'm continuing my playthrough of that. And then on Wednesday, I do War Thunder, which is a World War II game. You play airplanes, tanks, warships. It's a lot of fun. Friday, we're probably going to do Starship Troopers. And then Saturday is kind of my day to play whatever. I'll probably be playing Doom Eternal. And then Saturday night, we have like the Ballbusters Gaming. So I collab with them. And then back to this show. So
yeah, that looked cool. I checked out a little bit of that. It looked like a lot of fun.
Yeah, we played Among Us this Saturday night with the collab with the Ballbusters crew. It was a lot of fun. Go check it out. It's like a 4 or 5 hour stream, but it was crazy. A lot of accusations going around, people getting killed. it was ridiculous. And Dermy, of course, was spurging out on stream. So yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, well, I'm escaping from California, hopefully soon, from LA in the morning. So I'll be out of here and back home again. But I'm doing a lot of travel, this whole like adaptive skiing stuff, and then just helping out with different nonprofits and organizations. I'm doing a little bit of that right now while I have the energy. The summer's gonna be tough. The summer when the heat just kind of takes everything out of me. So then I go back and kind of chill and do a lot of online stuff and online collaborations. I'll be doing that this summer. But yeah, it's been an exciting time. It's pretty cool. Like we talked about earlier in the show, getting out and being able to meet people that you talk to online and in groups and streaming and making videos, meet in real person. It's like meeting a different version of them, but you've already had all this, history and time and hours together. So yeah, I met up with Pete Parada last night. So he's a former member of the Offspring, drummer for the Offspring that got booted from the band for mandate reasons. So Pete's awesome. Him and Dickie Barrett. So Dickie Barrett was Mighty Mighty Boss Tones and a bunch of other bands and Jimmy Kimmel and stuff. So yeah, they got the new band, the Defiant. So they're doing awesome stuff. Nice. And then Jessica Suda from former Pussycat Dolls. So she's working on music as well, especially with like anti-medical tyranny type things. So yeah, people are making some awesome stuff in pop culture and kind of making a difference. So yeah, anything's possible. Like Tiny thought, I can't even talk about before that, or we jumped on the screen or not.
No, it was after we were live. We were live.
Yeah, when we were live, we were talking about that. It's like you don't know what you're capable of. You know, you could see all these, you know, adversity or obstacles or limitations that, you know, you wake up or you feel all day, or, you know, that's what you've been accustomed to for years. But you carve out a new way of life. And it, despite all the shitty things that are going on in the world right now, it's a good time to be alive. Like, you can start anything online with all this technology we have, but you got to just kind of go for it. And so that's what a lot of people, you know, in our circles are doing. There's no game plan. You just kind of figure it out along the way.
Yep.
So I'll be back on Pop Culture Patriots next week from the home. So hopefully we're going to have some more box office stuff, some more movies, some more shows coming. I'm watching, I just finished 1883. So 1923 was awesome. I think that's my favorite out of the three right now.
Oh, you never watched 1883?
No, I watched it out of order, I guess. I watched 1923 first season, and then 1883, and now I'm watching 1923 as the episodes come on.
Okay, I really liked 1883.
Really?
A lot of people, yeah. Just the father, you know, daughter dynamic. A lot of people say that the daughter was kind of a Mary Sue, but she really wasn't, because of what ends up happening to her in the end. She ends up being reckless, and she pays for it. So
by definition, no longer Mary Sue if you actually have to pay consequences.
Exactly. So
and she learned along the way. She learned how to take care of the herd, and she upgraded her clothing and ditched the dress and stuff like that. So it was tough. I got CW kind of vibes, you know, with the relationships, but it was okay. I like the gunfighting and all the stuff and the tornadoes, but no, I like 1923 for the technology. That, you know, they're on their plot of land and they're defending it, and they got their neighbors and they got the government. So
I don't currently have a subscription to Paramount Plus. So I'm waiting until the show is finished. I'll pay for a month, watch it, binge it, and then, you know.
Yeah. But no, that's what I'm doing. It's a good time. So I'm loving this show, and we're having a good time and kind of growing the audience and just growing a fun time. So peace out. Have a good one. Thanks everybody for the super chats, for the stickers, for the audience, for watching on the different platforms. This was a fun time, and appreciate everybody else.
Thank you everyone who donated. It helps out paying for StreamYards and other things related to the channel, but we appreciate it.
Very much so.
Salute.
See ya.
Peace.